Call 999, there's been a robbery. Jordan Marr flashes leather. The official falling over, it just never gets old. Call 999, there's been a robbery.
Three, two, one, chuck your duck.
It's Sunday the 1st of March and welcome to the Peterborough Phantoms, Wendy's Peterborough Phantoms PhanTV pre-game show in advance of the game versus the Telford Tigers later on this afternoon at Planet Ice Peterborough. My name's Phil Smith from the media team and erstwhile supporters club guru, PhanTV writer and other jobs that around the media team, filling in for Dan Breen. Amber, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amber and I also work for the media team and I'm normally always here.
The pre-game show today, as ever, same format as ever. We're going to do the news around the league, some game review and any DOPS information and a preview of tonight's game against the Telford Tigers. Just a really important game for two teams sitting in fourth and sixth respectively. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But before we get into the episode, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and that'll be on the PhanTV channel on YouTube. And we look forward to getting you on board in, I guess, what is it? Is it 3 home games of the regular season left after today? And then there'll be 3 playoff games. Spring's coming. We're nearly getting towards the business end of the season. So we're going to get the show underway. So Amber, if I can chuck it over to you for the the news or the discipline stuff are we going to go with?
Yeah, we'll do the game review panel first. So on Saturday, the 21st of February, Solway Sharks, number 49, Liam Danskin. He received 1 penalty point and is free to play subject to accumulated penalty points for fighting. Leeds Knights, number 3, Bailey Perry. He also had a 5-minute major penalty assessed. And he also will receive 1 penalty point and is free to play subject to penalty points. No incidents have been referred to DOPS, which is impressive. Saturday the 28th, it is a change. Saturday the 28th of February, Telford Tigers, number 84, Carl Ferguson. He had a 5-minute major upheld for fighting and he receives 1 penalty point. And Romford Raiders, number 12, Mikey Power, also had a 5-minute major upheld and receives 1 penalty point for fighting.
So if we go to the league news, and I think probably the right and correct place to start with the league news is a massive congratulations from the Phantoms organisation to the Swindon Wildcats. Swindon are league champions. It's been a little while, but the Wildcats have absolutely been terrific during the course of the season and have looked like league champions for an awful long while. They've had a healthy lead. Leeds were chasing them. Amber, I was going to say to you, did you see anyone catch it? I mean, for the last couple of months, Swindon have looked bolt on for the league, haven't they?
I think they've been standout from the first game. I don't think it was even close, in my opinion, of anyone else coming close to taking that title this year. I know Leeds have in the past. However, I think they've been fantastic, the Wildcats this season.
I think when you look at the league table and you see that they've had 29 regulation, Swindon have had 29 regulation wins. Sheffield Steel Dogs are in second place, but they're 8 points behind them. They've had 23 regulation wins. That's six regulation wins difference. Both of them have won 7 in overtime. And then if you go down the league table, Hull Seahawks, we'll talk about those, that team who are on a massive roll at the moment. They've got 24 regulation wins, and then in fourth place, Phantoms on 17 regulation wins. But I have said before on here that it's been such an unusual season for the Phantoms with so many games going to overtime and Phantoms being so successful, 50% of the time successful. But Swindon, they've absolutely they've bossed it. If you think that they've lost 9 games this season with 3 either overtime or shootout defeats, that's 12. Then the next best is Sheffield. I think it is with 18. Is Hull with 18 defeats. They have been standout, and I've always suggested that Swindon have got the weapons to do a really good job. And this year they've got it going forward. But I think what's been absolutely critical is that they've done it at the back as well. And Renimar has been lights out. He's been absolutely outstanding during the course of the season.
Yes.
So when you think about Renimar, you are looking at one of the absolute top ranking netminders. He actually comes out in terms of save percentage. I think he comes out at about 6th, something like that. But I think that's not necessarily a correct position, because there are some netminders who've played relatively few games who are above him. The guy at Basingstoke and the guy at Hull are both in the top 10, but they've played relatively few games despite standout performances. So congratulations to Swindon. I think the other piece of really kind of league news is actually cup related, and Bear Gundonoff scored an absolutely silky penalty shot goal to give the Sheffield Steel Dogs a 3-1 lead against the Leeds Knights. So Slava, who was so successful in cup competitions, in playoff competitions really, for the Phantoms, looks like he's got one, what's the cliche, one hand on the trophy. Amber, back to you. Do you see Leeds? They trail by 2. So, are Leeds going to win the cup, or are Sheffield going to win the cup?
Um, it's a hard one. I think both teams aren't to be underestimated. Leeds, if on top form, stand a chance. If my own personal opinion, I think it'll be Sheffield. I've just got a feeling. I mean, Slava knows what to do to win a cup, and I think their performance this season has been outstanding as well. So if it was up to me, I would say Sheffield. That's who I'm going with.
Yeah, and then of course on FanTV, just like on our commentary on match night, we remain neutral, so we don't
Of
care
course.
who. We're not fussed which way it goes. What I would say to you is one of the best games that I ever commentated on was the Phantom 6-0 victory in the first leg of the Cup a couple of years ago against Leeds. One of the most unbelievable games that I've witnessed in Peterborough in the last kind of 15 years, and
Mm.
Leeds almost won the cup that night. That was a night where Jordan Marr was you couldn't play. We had Callum Hepburn from Solway Sharks in goal up at Leeds. Leeds nearly turned it around. I think trailing by 2, Ryan Aldridge will have those guys pumped.
Mm.
But Slava will want to bring Slava's
He
got a
will.
roster there. He will want to bring that trophy home. I
Mm.
suspect that most people will say that Sheffield are the favourites because they go with a 2-goal lead.
Mm.
I think it's my mantra on these kind of things. Discount Leeds at your peril. I think they have got
Yeah,
such a great side,
they
and I
have.
also think they've got the best netminder in the league. So
Mm.
or stats would prove that. I mean, there's probably not much of a difference stats wise in terms of save percentage between him and Lavia, who I think has been unreal. I think he's been great, but we'll wait and see. So the big talking points then: Swindon take the championship. Good luck, well done to them.
Mm.
Sheffield one hand on the cup maybe, but then the second legs in the next few days, and then we've got to think about playoff hockey and who's going to go to Coventry. I suppose that leads us on then to the other talking point is when I look at the league table has got 5 teams, I think it is, qualified for the
Mm.
playoffs. There's still some jostling for position at the top. I mean, we know Swindon have got it, but Sheffield, Hull, Peterborough, Leeds are all qualified. That leaves 3 positions: Telford, MK, Romford in those positions at the moment. Amber, are Telford, MK, Romford gonna fill the last 3 berths? What do you reckon?
I think I think the Raiders are ones to be watched. I think they will qualify. Am I right in thinking Milton Keynes not qualified yet?
I think
Okay, so
on the national website, it's just got the first 5 teams, but um, perhaps that's been updated. Okay,
I
so what
think
we under
between the Raiders and Sharks, mm, I mean, I still think there's points there to put in the bag. However, I think Raiders will be the ones to qualify.
Yeah. So what for viewers watching or viewers who live or viewers who catch us up on YouTube later, what we understand is that the NIHL national website hasn't been updated, but we understand that
Mm.
Tigers and Lightning have both qualified. That leaves one berth, the Romford Raiders, who I fear the Phantoms playing the Romford Raiders in playoff hockey. They are such a gritty outfit,
Mm.
and they are, you'd rather have the points on the board than and the Bison have got a game in hand. I think the Bison too far away. So
Yeah.
Raiders and Sharks and Amber, as you suggest, Raiders are probably in the box seat for that one. I
Yeah.
think there's still some jostling. I did suggest it a few minutes ago. I think there's some jostling with playoff places. So Phantoms obviously dropped the game last night in MK. MK are on a roll. Hull are on a
I
roll,
think
and
I think Phil, the
and
less
the
said
stuff.
about last night is probably best.
Well, any defeat for the Phantoms, I don't take
Yeah.
kindly to. I don't like a defeat against MK. I've got no doubt that our boys leave everything out on the ice. That's been in the Phantoms' DNA forever, and I think that there are some challenges that the team have got. That we are having an unreal season. I don't think anyone should forget the Phantoms in fourth, and that last week they were in third. They have really done a super good job in terms of their play this year, and to get to the semi-finals of the cup, possibility of a deep run in the playoffs as well. So I think we've done okay. I think we come across the Lightning who've obviously seen a change in personnel at the top with Tim Wallace moving on, and it's Lewis Christie, isn't it? That's
Yes.
at the helm at the moment. So a change in personnel. They're winning games for fun at the moment, and I said it on here last week. Don't discount MK. They're in
No.
seventh. They're on the same number of points as the Tigers. They're 5 points behind Leeds, but actually, they've got loads of quality, and healthy rivalries is absolutely great for the league. I've said many times that the couple of years that MKL had in the Elite League was great. I'm sure for the organisation. But certainly, from a Phantoms perspective, they fill our barn. The games against them are always barn burners. I love seeing them. I think it's okay to have a healthy rivalry, but I absolutely think that they'll be gunning for playoff
Of
glory.
course.
Their fans will fill Coventry, and it'll be a big
Yeah.
one for us. But for sure. So I think in terms of the playoff hockey, I think we might be going for Romford there. So in other news across the league, we've just got some announcements this week. Ben O'Connor, obviously former GB D man, he's going to miss the remainder of the season. I think Swindon picking up Ben O'Connor was a great pickup. There are one or two former Elite League players in the league, and obviously Ash Tate is one of them. But people like the Davy Phillips and Jonathan Phillips, Ben O'Connor, Josh Batch, Jason Hewitt, of course, who's been in this league for a little bit longer than the other guys. They've got it all, and he'll be a big miss in the playoff run. But as I guess Swindon fans would say, he's been instrumental to the success this year. Zimostra has gone back to Sheffield. I think cup tied, so not available for the cup. And Cole Cece has joined the Raiders goaltending kind of setup. And former Phantom number 56 at Hull Seahawks, Tom Stubley, has signed an extension to his contract, a 2-year contract with the club, and he's played so many games for a relatively young guy. Midweek scores. Swindon obviously went one step towards the title, beating Bristol in another 11-goal thriller. Bristol games see goals at both ends, and then obviously we've talked about the Leeds Knights and the Sheffield Steel Dogs. That's probably been done in our programme now, but they are defending cup champions. They've won the league 3 years in a row. They're not going to go out without a bang. And let's have the conversation when the second game's been played. Last night's scores. Amber, anything surprise you?
So we have Basingstoke 4, Leeds 3. I think that wasn't what I was expecting. I thought Leeds
No.
would have won that one. MK Lightning 8, Phantoms 3, what we've already briefly touched on. Sheffield 2, Swindon 3, close game. Solway 2, Hull 4, Telford 8, Romford 6.
Telford 8. Get ready for your tin app for 5:30 today. It could be a good one. So the one that stands out for me there is Basingstoke beating Leeds, but Leeds have been short benched for weeks. They've had loads of injuries. They are, is it time for any team to kind of bide their time and get ready for the playoffs? I'm not sure. We've got a few weekends to run, haven't we?
Yeah.
Other news, other Phantoms news. Obviously, congratulations to the Phantoms too. Nathan Pollard has steered those guys to another piece of silverware, beating Guildford, who seem to have gone head to head with the Phantoms too over the last couple of seasons. Nathan and Sean Yardley have done an unreal job there. They have got a great setup. You only just need to see how many guys step up from the Phantoms to the senior side, and you know, massive congratulations. Couldn't do a program without kind of giving recognition to Nathan, who's done a really good job with the Phantoms too. So last weekend, obviously. Overtime victory. Luke Ferrara getting on the score sheet in OT against the Bristol Pitbulls, and then a relatively comfortable 8-3 victory. Goals aplenty, Amber, against Bristol last week.
Absolutely. Luke Ferrara got a 9-point weekend, taking him to 97 points on the season. I think that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, and we'll return to Luke in a few moments. I mean, that
Yeah,
Ferrara kid, he's got a future in the game. Maybe he's all right, I
of
think.
course.
So the Phantoms' remaining home fixtures. Obviously today's Telford. We've got Swindon next weekend. MKL for our regular kind of derby with
Yep.
our friends from down the road. Last game of the season is going to be against the Hull Seahawks. It's a Saturday game. Richie Hartman playing for the Seahawks, and that means that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, including today. We are getting to that point of the season where it starts to think about the playoffs. Tonight's game, Phantoms in fourth, Telford in sixth. Only 6 points difference between the two sides, which is why I said that there could be some kind of jostling in terms of position. It's 2-2 in terms of the series. Amber, I'm going to ask you a question. I did say to you off air I was going to ask you a question, but I haven't told you what it is. If there was no Peterborough Phantoms and you got to support a team in the league, who would you support? And if anyone's watching at home, we know that there's one or two of you. If you can put it in the chat box, but if there's anyone that you could support, but Amber's under pressure. She didn't know I was going to ask.
This might be a very controversial answer.
It better not be.
I
You
would
just be steady on here. Go on then.
I would go for the Leeds Knights.
Okay, phew. Okay, so
Or was you
obviously
thinking I was going to say
can't.
someone else?
Don't even say it. So we are. So you'd go for the Leeds Knights. Any reason why?
I would, yeah. No real reason. I'm gonna say from a fan point of view, obviously being at Coventry,
Yeah,
they've got a lovely fan base.
they have.
Everyone
They
I've met
always
is
bring.
always very polite,
They're lovely.
and I love
They
that.
bring the noise when they come to Peterborough. The gobs on
They
tour,
do.
isn't it? And they love it. If it was
They do.
so for me, if I was going to choose a team in the league to support, I would support Telford, which is why I went for the question. So I grew up in the West Midlands. I think there's an awful lot to like. I know that over the years there's been historically the Phantoms and the Tigers have had similar histories. They've had, we're relatively small budget sides. We don't have the biggest crowds, but I like the Tigers, and I think they're a great organisation, and I think the longevity of Tom Watkins there, and I would go for Telford. I said earlier on, it's a 2-2 split at the moment over the season, so not that honours particularly matter for winning this game. It's the points that are important. Phantoms are on a a decent streak. Obviously dropped the game last night, but they've won, what is it, 1, 2, 3 of the last 5 or 6. Big win last night in Shropshire for the Telford Tigers. And we expect Lavy to be our starting netminder tonight. I would be absolutely gobsmacked if Will Bray starts. But of course, last Sunday, Will Bray got a few minutes, and it was nice to see him. We've had Ryan Bainborough and Luke Clark as backups during the course of the year, but Will Bray's he's broken the seal, so we get him on, and I think it's going to be Brad Day tonight for the Tigers, whose save percentage is 86.29. Levine is third in the league, 91.41 save percentage. He faces more shots than you can think about. So he's from my perspective, I think Lavy has been unreal. Ones to watch, Eric Henderson, David Thompson. Just really, really impressive. I think if you look at David Thompson, he's scored 41 goals, third in the league. Cam Huff, of course, is first in the league. I think the Phantoms lead on goals scored, assists, penalties, power play goals. The lead was Dylan Lawrence, who, by the way, I think Dylan Lawrence has been unreal the last couple of weeks. Yeah. But I think what I want to do is just finish here with just giving a tip of the hat to Luke Ferrara, who goes into tonight's game on 39 goals and 60 assists. He's on 99 points. He needs a point tonight. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, and he said, when he scores, it's usually a Yanni Larkin and a Cam Huff assist on that. And if Cam scores and if Yanni scores, it's something similar there. So Amber, I think I'm going to move towards the end of the show. We've been on for half an hour, so. Just in terms of shameless plugs, Show Off Your Back tonight might be Morgan Clark Pizzo. Watch This Space for the Supporters Club's jersey available tonight, and the Square Seller jersey. Tonight's jersey up for grabs. We think there's a Zane McKenzie jersey, white jersey. So that, again, another question: white or blue for a Phantoms home jersey? What do you like? One word.
I like a navy. I do like the navy one's the best. Really?
So guys, viewers, keep your eye out for the supporters club, the shirt off your back, the square sellers. They're really important. That £2 a square, and obviously the money is really important for the club. Phantoms end of season awards on sale Thursday, 2nd of April, so a month's time. Holiday Inn, Peterborough West, and over 16s only. And tickets are £25. Food, disco. I'm sure you'll be there, Amber, for that.
I will be there, of course.
I've just seen a thumbs up from Matt Cavallari, and if you've never seen Matt on the dance floor at an awards ceremony, it's a thing to behold.
Not to miss.
Absolutely. Playoff ticket bundles are going to be available for season ticket holders, so get your eye on those. That I think that's been posted, and believe it or not, the club are suggesting that we keep our eyes out for season tickets for 2026, 2027. So there'll be news over the next couple of weeks, and obviously the crowds have been unreal this year. The crowds have been brilliant. I think that one of the most memorable was the victory against, two for me stand out: the victory against Milton Keynes and the victory against Leeds at home. The last two of those, but attendances of over 1,000. We need fans in the rink, but of course, if you can't be in the rink, we hope people can join us on the live stream, going on live at 5:30. A couple of other things just to finish. The red Wendy's jersey, the handover for that is the 15th of March versus MKL. So if you've got one, head to the bench after the final. Buzzer playoff jerseys are going to be unveiled, although I've seen some stuff online. There's a blue and it looked orange to me, but
an orangey colour, yeah.
orangey red. Yeah, well, Phantoms ought to play in red for playoffs all the time because we like
Yeah.
a red jersey to lift a trophy with. And we're just going to wrap up now. So, Amber, anything else from you for today's
I
broadcast?
think I think we've got a comment come in. DJ Hillfinger was talking to my wife last night as we seem to have so many out every week. Was wondering if you could maybe give us an injury updates every week to keep us informed. We certainly do have a
Well,
lot of men out.
yeah. So my understanding is, yeah, we'll try and get some updates. I think it's fair to say that. Can I give any D updates, Matt?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'd be surprised if we. I'd be surprised if we didn't see Scott Robson or Brad Bowering in the next week or two. I
yeah,
certainly think they'll be back before playoff hockey. I think Callum Douglas, jury's out on that one, and we wait to see whether Callum will dress again. I suspect that's going to be
mm,
a tough one. He took a bang on the boards a couple of weeks ago. I think the incident was just a hockey play.
of
I
course,
don't think
yeah,
there was anything malicious in it, but I think Callum is going to struggle. But and then. And then we've been, Corey McEwen, who I think has had a decent season, but missed a lot of games.
yeah,
Hopefully we'll see Corey. He's obviously a game time decision, but if we can on this program, we'll try and bring those in. Are there any
of
more
course.
comments? Just having a look.
Away block is completely sold out, or should be. A good atmosphere, and I predict 5-3 to us. Sesenis' first goal. Well, his
Oh
goal
yeah, I'm
last
just.
night was very good.
Um, so yeah, brilliant. So we want a full building.
We do.
Um, Someone's predicting 5-3 to the Phantoms. Is that 5-3 to the Phantoms? With
Yeah.
Ralphs with the first goal. I think on his day, Ralphs he can really tear it up, and I think he playing
Can.
alongside Morgan and playing alongside Dylan have done really really well. So. Yeah, it's not a rash kind of Ralph's to get the first goal. He's got it in him without any shadow of doubt. I would never bet against Cam Huff or Luke Ferrara for the first goal, and it would be remiss of me to not suggest. Well, Amber, I'll ask you if your prediction for tonight.
Um, Phantoms win 4-3.
I think this game goes to overtime, and then it's a lottery.
Oh no, not another
And
one.
I think this game goes to overtime. We've had 16 games go to OT this year. If we start with Huff, Larkinen, and yeah, if we go to overtime, Ferrara, Huff, and Larkinen, then you I'd put your mortgage on it.
Of
So
course,
guys,
yeah.
I think that's probably all for the pre-game show this week. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the game against the Telford Tigers. Thank you for watching live, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see some of you on the live stream, but hopefully we'll see you in the rink. It's goodbye from me and goodbye from Amber.
Thank you so much for joining.
See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.